Yes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Mastermind Book Club. Today, we're going to talk about Ray Dalio's book, Principles, featuring principle number 5 and the rest of the principles also. Our first mastermind will be Mr. Reggie Hilliard.
Hello, everyone. So yeah, Ray Dalio is a hedge fund manager, but he has a lot of very good insight on how to live in a sense. So he uses these principles, in his book. In his life, in his business, to help people to basically be able to thrive in the business of the hedge fund, and as well as in their life if they actually implement it. Some of the things he talks about, or some of the things I'll cover, have to do with essentially managing your ego and your blind spots, needing to overcome those so that you can get past them, so that you can get to a place where you're thriving, as I mentioned, because you kind of put your ego aside and cleared your blind spots, or have somebody help point out your blind spots so you can get through them. Then as well, to be able to go through pain and reflect. A lot of times we go through pain and we're crying about the pain, instead of realizing that through that pain is something that we're to learn. And if we were to go through the pain, whether in the pain or after the pain, to reflect about the pain, we can actually gain something from that so that we can actually move forward. Just as opposed to just going through the pain and really getting nothing other than the pain. Another thing is to essentially like to embrace your reality and deal with it, right? So the way he deals with his life is he kind of makes it a game, sort of like problems to solve and obstacles to go through, but really, strategically going about it so that again he's gaining something from each experience. If you look at life that way, you will always gain something from it, as opposed to again sort of having the wrong mindset and then living the woe is me philosophy or things like that. So you won't really be able to gain as much from your life if you're in that space. And one other thing I'll say is he says like recognizing yourself as a designer, not the worker of your own machine. So if you're the designer gets to create. You're always in a creative mode. You're able to mold the life that you want to live. You want to able to mold situations the way you want them to be. But if you're just a worker, you sort of feel like defenseless, right? If it's your system, if it's your practice, if it's your thing, your creation, you are the architect. So you get to make the decisions around how you want that thing to work, how you want your life to be, how you want things to be overall. But if you just consider yourself a worker, you feel like you don't have the ability to make the transformations and the changes and the necessary modifications to the particular thing, one aspect of your life or other aspects. And so you feel you're always at the mercy of. So those are some of the things I'll touch on. Very good book, Principles, Ray Dalio. I would definitely advocate reading it, listening to it, whichever way you want to take it in. And you can gain a lot if you will keep yourself open to what this information is.
Wow, Reggie, thank you. Thank you. I'm just going to touch on a couple things. In the principle, it talks about goals, how you have to go forth, have strategic goals that you're looking to accomplish, that you have to apply action. And as you go through getting your goals, you're going to have problems. And in your problems, you're going to have to diagnose what the problems are and then apply your, reapply your plan, and then do what? Take more action. So the principles are really sound as far as making you successful. My goal or my view of being successful is that if you have enough money to cover your bills, have time and freedom to enjoy your family and to be able to do some of the things you want to do and have fun. Couple quick questions. Are you able to say anything, Dave? Honorable
Yes,
CEO
I
David
just wanted
Diaz?
to say, yeah, I'm
Thank you.
I'm surrounded by a lot of people, so if you hear noise,
It's
I'm
his
sorry.
daughter's birthday.
But the principal very important book. It basically he says that whether you're rich or you're poor, you're always gonna have something that's not gonna work perfectly in your favor. And even if you are rich, obviously it's much better than being poor because you have money, but it doesn't mean that problems are gonna go away. It's just you get different types of problems, problems that people that do not have money do not understand. And even those that have money don't always want those kinds of problems. And the reality is that you're going to make mistakes along the way. And whatever mistakes you make, you can either choose to hate your mistakes or ask yourself the questions to lead you to the next level in whatever it is that you want in life. It's part of the process. Making errors is part of the process. Failing is part of the process. And it's whether you choose to accept that or you choose to focus on the brown color of life. So I recommend that you find that when you come across a brown color in your life, ask, what does it stand for? How can I learn from this? What can I take away from this? So that's my takeaway in this book. I like it, and I think it's very important.
Real quick while we have you, David, how has this book affected your mindset? 2 words, 2 or 3 words. David, how has this book affected
You're
your
talking
mind?
to me? Say that again. Say that again.
Yes. I said, real quick, how has this book affected your mindset, sir?
Well, I live this book in that I don't focus on being the overachiever. I focus on knowing that no matter what I do, I'm going to come across hurdles and I've got to figure out how to get over them or what am I learning from them. And that has happened to me, especially as Ray Dalio mentions marathoners, and which we've mentioned in other reviews. It's part of the process being a marathoner to enjoy or become accustomed to the pain. And in life, you're going to come across that pain as well, whatever the barrier may be. So that's it for me.
Thank you. Thank you, David. Thank you. Reg, same question to you. How has this book affected your mindset?
Well, for me, the book aligns with my mindset. So oftentimes when a lot of the books and things that come to me are often coming to me because they're very much attracted to the energy that I'm putting out. So you become what you are, what you think about, how you live your life, what have you. So the books and the things that show up are definitely the things that align with my spirit, with the energy. So, when I touched on some of these things, like, getting rid of the ego and dealing with the blind spots. So, for example, even one of the programs I did last year, which is called Landmark, one of the things that was covered there was blind spots. And this book covers or talks about blind spots and how for one to overcome their situation and be able to go forward and thrive is to overcome things like your blind spots, which often are things you don't see. That's why they call blind spots, and someone has to point them out to you. Ego, a lot of us know we have ego, and we tend to just continue to live in ego, and ego doesn't necessarily help us in many cases because ego keeps you blocked from being able to receive the things that you could receive to power you and move you forward. So the book aligns with just how I live my life, and it's good because it keeps it front of center, front of mind, so that like you get this book and you read it again, and you then say, okay, good, I'm either on track or I need to make these additional adjustments, or just keeping it in your mindset. It makes it such that it solidifies it, and then it's not a thing that you necessarily need to read anymore because you're actually living it.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Reggie. My mindset real quick is that things will happen. Life will happen to you, but you have to make plans and goals and do what? Keep going. You always have to keep pressing forward, moving towards a higher understanding and higher achievement for what you're trying to do in life. One final question to the panel. Just give one principal point that you will personally apply from the principle. One principal point, be it your goals, be it your planning, action steps.
One
that
principle
type
that
of.
one principle that I like is sometimes we have a need to be right instead of a need to be true. And I am not saying that I know the difference, but I'm in order to understand that when I come across it, I'll know what it is and then I can decide if I have a need to be right versus a need to be true. Those are two needs that, I mean, for me, I've never really focused on, but I understand need. Instead of being right, it's better to be silent in order to be true. So that's where my takeaway from.
Well, I like that, David. I like really what you said. It's better to be silent and to be true than to be negative. That was really great. Reg, just one principle that you can throw at us, one concept, one thing that really stands out to you
I mean, I like
that you personally applied to your life.
I like multiple, but I'm just going to touch on because this is very, very much the way I live my life is to live my life by design. So, taking every opportunity and taking every um, option available to me to create the life that I say is the life that I like to live, and making the modifications and things as necessary. So not seeing myself as just someone that, things are just happening to and I have no say in the matter, but saying, I can actually shape the matter around me so that I can have it be the way that I know it can be. And, and if it's not that, which is not to say not that, but if it's not that, then I'll do what's necessary to make it come to fruition. So really, again, living the life by design, because we are the architects of our own lives and we have everything at our disposal. Everything has been put inside of us through our imagination, being a magician of our own lives, being able to use the right thoughts and taking the right actions to facilitate and cultivate and carve out the life that you choose. So that's my take.
Awesome, Reg. Awesome. I'm also going to say is your goals determine your destination. Your goals determine your destination. And the final thing I'm going to say is ego, ego. Ego is edging God out. Don't edge God out. Accept the principles and apply wisdom to everything you do, and then apply action. This has been another edition of the Mastermind Book Club. I thank you for viewing, and I thank you for your attendance. I thank the panelists, and to everyone, have a great evening. Thank you.